A terrific thunderstorm on a pitch-dark night. In the lightning flashes one caught glimpses of phantom figures, some with rifles at the slope, some with them at the high port, heads held high in the air, striding through the hell that surrounded them. The Sacrifice on the Somme. This is a casted game played between myself, Hippie, playing as the 2nd Panzergrenadier Division, and I'm up against Jokertard, playing as the 4th Schützendivision. And we're on two ways. This was played as part of the SDL Monthly tournament. It happens roughly every month. This month's a bit empty because most people don't want to play this patch because it's terrible. We're on the MORTIER Milestone if you're watching this in the future. So yeah, two ways. I used to think this map was alright, but Lathan's told me it's one of the most unbalanced maps in the game. At least the most unbalanced map left in ranked. And he said he had something like a 26 or 28% win rate difference on this map. So what's going on there? Basically, if you're on the red side here, you have some advantages. Alpha is a lot smaller than Delta and much more easy to defend. Red can get to here and blue gets to about here. Whereas on Delta, red will actually get to here when blue gets to here. And it's something like that. And so as soon as and red will get to this patch of trees first as well. So as soon as the enemy gets here, you've had it. Because if he takes the church, you can see into the entire town, with the church being in such an exposed position. So yeah, Delta not very easy to attack compared to Alpha. Then you look at Charlie. Charlie used to be a lot worse. It used to be a way smaller. So if you were on the blue side, you'd basically had it. But red gets these three houses here, which, you know, this one in particular, basically, if you're in that house, you have control over the entire zone. And to add to that, there's a thing with reinforcement paths as well. So the default reinforcement path for red will take you either through these trees, you know, to the middle, or through here. And as we spoke about, red gets a commanding lead on Delta, like, you know, you could take this house, etc. Blue's reinforcements tend to go down this road, and so if red makes it to here, then blue's reinforcements are in danger of getting cut off, and then you've basically had it. It's also much less shielded, like, so if you have a exceptional recon here, you can basically see everything coming down this road. So yeah, that does it for the map. Talking about the divisions, I'm playing 2nd Panzergrenadier, which I believe is an S tier division now. And I never made that tier list, but basically it's really good at just sort of defending for 30 minutes and then pushing at the end, and that's kind of what the meta is right now. Really grindy division, probably the most grindy division, except maybe 8th Infantry, which, well, 8th Infantry is more of an early to mid-game division, whereas 2nd Panzer is just all game. And I'm up against 4th, which, talking to Lathans about this, he says he likes 4th more than Untermensch Zentrum, Berliner Großrungs, and 4th is really good in this meta as well, because basically you get a forward deployed component, which we can see here, and that allows you to take ground aggressively early, and then you just sit on it for the rest of the game. You've got a great air force. You don't get heavy tanks, but we're not really in a heavy tank meta, but what you do get is anti-tank guns and the T-55 AM2, and both of these things have 2,800 meter range, 60% accuracy, extremely high speed ATGMs now as a result of this patch. But 4th is lacking in some areas. They don't get their artillery is basically just the Gvozdika and the Acacia and the 120mm, so that's enough really, but they don't, their MLRS is really not good. The RM70 and the Smerch are really not good. They don't get any super high HP infantry like the Zickerungs, 11-man squads, things like that. They're very useful right now. So this division does have its disadvantages. Disadvantages for 2nd Panzer, the Leopard 1s will die to one Conquer shot or one Milan 2 shot. Definitely one Milan 2 shot, I think one Conquer shot as well. And they don't get good helicopters. You get a tow helicopter and that's about it. Well, it's called a HOT, but it's an ATGM helicopter basically. You don't get any attack helicopters. And your anti-tank planes are pretty trash. But yeah, you do get decent ASFs in the form of the Tornadoes. So that does it for the introduction. Let's get on with the game. Deployments, right? Deployments. So on the left here, got myself Hippie, and basically because of the threat on Delta, I'm forced to split my deployment. So I want to go all in on Charlie, but I can't because if he attacks Delta, I've had it. So I need to put loads of guys on Delta. So my attack on Charlie isn't big. And I need to defend up here because if he gets down here, then he cuts my reinforcements, so then I'll lose the game. So we got a FS Milan 2 going to here, and I've told the transport to not sell in case I need to get it out. And then we've got 2 FS Jaeger. That's an interesting note on FS Jaeger. So the West German FS Jaeger is shock and airborne, and 60 points, whereas the East German FS Jaeger is special forces shock and airborne for 55 points. Now that's obviously not great, but the RPG is better on this one. The Panzerfaust 3, 21 pen, 65% accuracy means it will one-shot a Leopard 1. Whereas this will not one-shot a Leopard 1. But yeah, I'd rather have the Special Forces, to be honest. That's something worth pointing out, but I truly believe that 2nd Panzer is the better division in this matchup. So back to the deployment. I spoke about these. Jäger Aufklärer going to there for recon. Because I know he's going to get in this house first, and once he does, I basically can't see him. Even with the recon, even if he's shooting, I won't be able to see him until I'm right next to him. I bought CV. CV's going Foxtrot Charlie. And we put a Pioneer Armburst here in case he tries to sneak somebody down this road. And then a Sicherungs to here. And a Sicherungs to here. So that does it for the central. I wanted to do more, but if he attacks here, then I'm boned, so I need to put loads of guys there. So for that, we've got this Lux going to here. Iltis Führung's going to Golf and then to Delta, although it looks like I've not passed that properly. On the right, we've got FS Milan 2, Jäger Aufklärer going to here, I believe. Yeah, that's right. And then an FS Jaeger going to here, so he can hit people coming down this road. And an FS Jaeger going to here. Behind that, we spoke about that. And then... Oh, so I actually went 3 CVs at the start because I wanted to get that early point lead. We'll see if that was a good idea. 2 Fliegerfaust for when the attack helicopters come, if the attack helicopters come. And, you know, one's going to the church, one's going to here. The church gives you really good sightlines, but the enemy usually bombs it, so you can't put too much there. And then another Sicherungs going to there, and then a recoilless rifle. The price of these has gone up a bit, by the way. That's it? What? Anyway, and a tank Leopard 1A1A1 going to there. So that does it for my deployment. Switch it to that of my adversary. He's opened with a bomber, the Su-22 M4, so the guns on these are the best nose guns in the game, tied with the French plane, and you get these infrared missiles, and you get the bombs, so this is an anti-helicopter device as well as an anti-ground device. It's one of the best planes in the game. It's just a bit of an idiosyncrasy with the game, because obviously this is, by 1989, this is quite an obsolete backline plane, but just the way it's been implemented into the game means that ever since its implementation, it's been the best line of planes, the Su-22, apart from the French ones, the French Jaguars, like the Jaguar Seed for 175, stuff like that, because of the OP nose guns on the French planes. So, we've got an Aufklärer going to here, so crucially he's not attacking here, but I didn't know, right? So, CV going to Charlie, and presumably through Echo, and then a Faggot going to here, and a Mott-Schützen BTR and a Pioneer Flam going to the middle. Then we've got FS Metis going to here, so this is what I was on about. This house really hard to deal with a recon with it, presumably. No, the recon's going back there. FS Metis, and then regular FS Jaeger, Special Forces FS Jaeger going to there. So, 2 CVs purchased. This SPW-40 is going to go Bravo Alpha, presumably. 30mm grenade launcher also going to there. These are really good. This is another thing that Forth's got going for it, really. These are one of the few things that still kills infantry. And yeah, for the town, Aufklärer going to the church, presumably. Yep, and then Estrella going to the church. They get forward deployed AA as well. And then FS Jaeger Metis, presumably going to like here. Yeah, and then FS Jaeger going to there, FS Jaeger going to there. Oh, and 2 Zickerungs, so these are the... Oh, no, hang on. We've got a faggot going to the church to pray the gay away, and a Zickerung's 7-man. So yeah, so this is another comparison which actually favours 2nd Panzer. So this is the East German Zickerung, 7 men for 25 points. Although they are resolute and security and they get an MG, these are 11 men for 25 points, and they are not resolute. They are security. They don't get an MG. So the East German Zickerungs are definitely worse than the West German Zickerungs. But they come in a transport that's got KPVT on it, so that's fair enough, really. Anyway, we finished the deployment, let's get on with the game. Right, so they're off, and let's zoom in on this beautiful plane. Remember to leave a funny comment in the comments box. I like reading your funny comments. If you want to support the videos, leave a funny comment. You can do the whole subscribe like thing as well, but I really like reading the funny comments. I really hate this patch. As you've probably noticed, I've been trying to like throw in Age of Empires 3 videos, Baldur's Gate videos, things like that, but nobody's watching them, so I'm forced to play this patch. Otherwise my channel will die. So I suppose that's what happens when you build your channel around a single game, and then the game gets patched to be just fundamentally terrible. You're sort of caught between a rock and a hard place. This map is beautiful. But yeah, I didn't open any helicopters, so this isn't particularly useful. I suppose I could have opened 2 Ginas, but, you know, then I was scared that he would open with a MiG-29 ASF. And he didn't. He opened with this bomber, but this could probably still kill a Gina, given the nose guns. So I did get a small point lead, and as you can see, so he's in there and he can shoot that. And I've got this here, but I can't see him. And the bomber gets an FS Jaeger. So that's well, it's not exactly paid for itself, but it was at least a good investment. So I bought a Gina now for this house. And Ginas have something a bit weird going on with their rockets, where they just don't like fire them all. So like I feel like he pulled up a bit too early there. But we get the Metis and we get the building, which is the most crucial part, because now he doesn't have that ridiculous building cover. Although he's in the ruins, so he will have something. But yeah, it's just a shame we didn't get this one as well, I don't know. So yeah, I was forced to defend this, and there's no one here. Which is kind of a pain, but it is what it is, and now I've not got a whole lot of guys here. Although, I suppose the same could be said of my opponent. He was forced to defend this, although you don't need that many guys here. You could get away with just 2. 1 here, and 1 here. But he's gone for the full send. And I assumed he would have somebody over there. That's why I pinged over there. But he doesn't. At least not yet. He's got these guys here. Because I think I saw this unload here or something. And I assumed that he was just sending it, but he wasn't. It's just stayed there. So I'm trying to move forwards with these guys, because, you know, I paid for them. But crucially, there's no AA here. There's 2 Fliegerfaust. So these guys are in the open. And 4th gets really good bombers. So it's not really a smart idea. And yeah, over here, Jokertard's moving into here. And once you get into here, you basically cut off the enemy's reinforcement. Like, if you get an ATGM like there, then, yeah, it gets very rough indeed. Or a tank. So yeah, these guys are going to be shooting each other for a while. For some reason, my guy's already on cohesion normal. Oh, I guess it's because of the MGs. So MGs deal a bit more suppression than, you know, still not very much, but I think the suppression values are fine. I think the damage values are just nonsense. People tell me it's realistic. This game isn't realistic at all. Why is every battle a 40-minute meeting engagement? Why does Britain get the same number of income as the Soviet Union? The Soviet Union should get 10 times more income. After all, it's realistic, right? Oh, here we go. Oh, it's the T-55 AM2B. That's the better one. The one with the ATGM. So artillery coming out for Jokertard. This is the new Met strat, and for some reason these guys have a strength of 8. So even though they're towed, they're really hard to counter battery. And here we go with that bomber again. And 2 Fliegerfaust aren't going to save, even if they both hit, which obviously they're not going to. it still wouldn't kill this, because this does 10 HP, and these deal 4 HE. So it was a mistake to attack down there, really. Attacking in this game generally is something of a mistake in this patch. So these Zikrungs don't have AT, neither do these, and I recognise that, so that's why these guys are here. And yeah, I knew he was moving guys down here, which is why we've got the Pioneer Flam here. The West German Pioneer Flam's kind of garbage. The Hand Flam Patron is like a flash, but really bad. Or an RPO, but really bad. But it's kind of the best you've got. This thing is absolutely amazing, because it's a flamethrower. So, if they get time to aim, you need time to aim, it takes 4 seconds to aim, then you can do some real damage. So that's where these come in, is that they have an aim time of 2 seconds, used to be 1. And so if they can hit that, they set fire to the ground underneath the Pioneer Flam. He has to be stationary to launch his flamethrower. And Bob's your uncle, you know, he can't shoot this until he stops moving. Although, considering how long the fire... Usually you can fire all 4 of these at this guy, he'll dance around for a bit and then stop and then still kill him. So you got to make sure you got other people in. And yeah, and FS Jäger Metis will 2-shot a Leopard 1. FS Jäger Metis really good now because of the suppression. So you see his mediocre suppression from 1 shot. And we got this guy up here, but I should have put him on return fire only, because now he's getting shot by everybody, and that wasn't very smart, really. So yeah, this guy kind of caught out. Set this guy up to defend those guys, but it was sort of a bit late. And here we go. So 120mm mortars are really good. West Germany gets those as well, in the form of Mrs. Tampella. And these 152s are pretty good. And West Germany gets one of these as well. I'm not sure if the crew strength is the same, but the stats are pretty much identical. I'll have to check, although I think for this game I swapped out my towed howitzers for self-propelled howitzers, because I assumed I would be pretty aggressively counter-batteried. After this game, I figured out that counter-battery is basically kind of useless, so, well, most of the time. And yeah, this is what the meta's all about. You just sort of sit here. Every game takes 40 minutes. It's really boring. I can understand why people like it, because, you know, some people, you know, you're talking to them and you got to explain the same thing like 3 or 4 times, and you're like, oh, they're probably just tired or something, but every time you meet them, it's the same. You explain things, they just don't get it. They just don't seem to get it. They just nod their head and go, yeah, but when you actually ask them about it, they just don't seem to get it. And, you know, how do I put this? 10% of the US population isn't allowed to join the US Army because their IQ is too low. There is no job in the Army they could give them that would actually be productive. Any job they give them, they'd mess up, even like cleanup and stuff like that. They just won't let them into the Army. So, if 10% of people like this meta, well, you know, there's the answer to your problem. So there you go. So he's fired his flam, and now this guy cannot flam. And with the Zikrungs here, he gets stunned up. Thing is, yeah, so this is the armored CV, so this will resist the mortar rounds a bit better, whereas if you brought that little car, if the mortar manages to hit it, that little car's going to die, basically. Over here, these 2 tanks have been trading with these FS Jäger for fucking ages, and the FS Jäger are winning. And, yeah, trying to counter-battery those Panzer mortars, Panzer Mercers. And we bring the Gina rocket out. This probably wasn't very smart. He's not even passed on to anything. He's going for the helicopter, but there's a cub there, and then 1, 2, both missiles hit straight away, which is, you know, it's a bit unfortunate. Could have killed that, but just play better, I guess. Mine misses, of course. So we counter-batteried this guy, and he didn't die because he's got 8 strength. But what you can do if you're paying attention is you just load him into the MTLB, and then he definitely won't be dying, because as you can see, that's got a lot of HP. It's this armored, you see. But yeah, this guy survived, which is a shame. And here we go, so a bomber with seed behind it, but I know about the 4th Mott Schützen seed, so I've switched this off. I think. Yeah, I did, yeah. And then I switched it back on. So he flies over these Eyehawks. With 3 Eyehawks, we only get 1 hit, which is a shame. Is what it is, I suppose. And yeah, he's trying to push here now. Basically, autocannons don't do anything, so your best fire support is either KPVTs and 50 cars, or tanks. Autocannons don't do anything, so what's the point? It is what it is. A lot of people say they like watching these games. I don't know, everything takes ages. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. So here we go, human wave coming in. Basically can't kill them as fast as they can walk across an open field. These leopards are, I suppose, out of position. Thing is, if they try and move up, this Metis will kill them all. So we're in a rough spot here. These T-55 AIM-2s now shoot 2,275 meters with 10 armor for 105 points. Although the pen is a little worse than these guys. So good smoke there from Joker, saves himself from the land too. Not sure if that would one-shot it anyway. But there you go, you see the Metis are really good against Leopard 1s. Because they usually don't miss. And yeah, one shot and you're basically out of action, you have to pull back, right? And then I'm trying to reposition these, but they're getting hit by these helicopters. Trying to smoke this off. These guys are getting counterbattery though, so they do actually go down. Jokertard decided to bring the Gvozdikas, the 122mm, which aren't that great, but if you got corrected shot, they can be alright. And I suppose if you have well, it's 2 of them there. I still don't rate them, I prefer the Akatsiya, just pay extra getting an Akatsiya. And yeah, it's not going so well, just getting walked to death. So we get that guy at least. Fliegerfaust takes 3 Fliegerfaust shots to kill a Mi-24D. And yeah, the artillery's coming in now. I buy some Marder Milans, which was a mistake. I actually took them out my deck after this game. They're just not, like, autocannons aren't good against infantry. You can just sort of walk into people and you know, the autocannons won't do too much. Hopefully I get a chance to show you. So yeah, the Gvozdikas are now shooting this, and you know, if I move it here, then these guys will see me. If I move it here, these guys will kill me. So, sort of caught between a rock and a hard place. Managed to smoke these guys up. So I should be moving my tanks across, really. But I need to move the Fliegerfaust across first to get that hind. And then here we go, he's just pathing his guys through my units. That's how it's done in this meta. You can just do that, because infantry doesn't really deal any damage. So you can just walk through all of this and spot this. That's just the game. That's the game we play. Yeah, so the cluster comes in because he spotted that right, and the 3 Eyehawks don't stop that. So crucially now he's on a +3, and that means that he'll just get a small point tick over me, and then he can just defend for the rest of the game. So I buy this 245 point ASF to take on this 195 point ASF, but I do fly over the Cub and that hits me. Thankfully it's only got 45% accuracy, so he only hits me once out of those 2 missiles that he fired there. And so yeah, I managed to re-secure the point with my own infantry wave, but it's too late. The CV, you know, that's it basically. You get a small point lead and then you just sit on it for the rest of the game. These guys, not having the best day, should probably just unload instead of... so we lose 1 there because he comes around here. And you see this guy doesn't want to commit. I don't know, maybe because of this mountain here he's a bit scared. And I gotta send this around here, otherwise it'll die. Moving my Eyehawks after they shoot, because I know he's got lots of artillery. He's got some more here. He must have 2 cards of Gvozdika and 1 card of these 152mm. And yeah, this hang on, did 1 die, or is that the same one as before and he just healed it? I think it's a new one because there's 2 MTLBs there. So yeah, this guy gets hit by 2 Strellas, I think, because that's 8 damage. And we've got the infantry back in now, but yeah, it's too late. It's too late. He got the small point leads, and that's all you need really in this meta. So now I'm forced to attack for the rest of the game. This comes out of rounds. I did counterbattery these guys, but it doesn't... If it's self-propelled, it's really just not going to do anything. Maybe against the mortars you've got a bit more of a chance, because the mortars have less than 1 top armor. So yeah, I lost two of my mortars? 1 or 2. And yeah, we get the CV in, but it's just too late. So lots of artillery. It's all about the artillery. That's what this meta is. I mean, as you can see, this is really something, isn't it? So I'm trying to push out my borders a bit because of the artillery, basically. So if I control this small area, then it's kind of hard for me to do anything about that. Whereas the bigger the area I control, the more spots there are to artillery, so the better chance I have of winning. Or, you know, surviving. So here we go, 4 Gvozdikas on this Eyehawk, but it's been moving. It's moved, so he doesn't get it. Oh, that one almost hit. Oh, I got a near miss or something. And yeah, I've still got my artillery on counter battery, but you'll see how much that does. So I bought another one. But yeah, counter battery is usually not worth it, basically, because if you're just shooting, if the enemy's shooting your units and you're shooting his artillery, which isn't dying anyway, then he's gonna win because he's killing your units and you're killing nothing. Oh, will it get it? No, of course it won't. Don't be silly. I'm not sure why the strength on these is 8. I haven't seen the... I've not brought them. The self-propelled NATO ones. Is that the same? Either way, I'd reduce it for both of them, if that's the case. So we do manage to push a bit out here, but then, crucially, in the forests, these Pioneer Flam will... It's like one of the few things that still does something. And I don't get that. I get Pioneer Flam brackets, hand flam patron, which there's one here, but I think it died. I should have had one here, really, in expectation of that. So you bring up the Fliegerfaust, but these are more of a helicopter scaring device as opposed to a helicopter killer. And now I've got 3 CVs in here because, you know, if he snipes it again, I'm going to lose. But basically, now I have to attack in this defense meta because he managed to just snipe my CV there. And that's basically how the game's played now. You get an early point lead, and then you just sit there for the rest of the game. That's how it's played. So over here, I managed to get in. There's FS Jaeger here. And you see these guys with their shock trying to kill this faggot. Maybe one day they'll get him. Maybe one day. Let's check back in later. Oh. Yeah, he died. Wow, incredible. But crucially, because I sent this one guy in to check, right? But now that I've done that, he's just going to reinforce all this as well. So this goes back to my original point about why the game's kind of crap right now. It takes too long to clear out these people. Although attacking them with one guy is probably not a great idea. And yeah, crucially, no AA. I need a Gepard or something. Like, I had Fliegerfaust here, but obviously I moved those 2 over to here. So, lost the Zickerungs there to the Pioneer Flam and the 4 Gvozdikas. And yeah, this guy's going to get healed up now. Oh, okay, maybe not. He's just going to sit in there for a bit. And I was going to send this guy all the way in, but without the AA, it's pointless to do so. And I don't know like where his tanks are and stuff. To be honest, I should have just... Well, no, I can't because of that. And then because he's got the Strellas and the Cub here. So that's the fate of counter battery. They just move it because it takes too long to aim. I think a good way to fix this is that so smoke takes 50% longer, 50% less time to fire. And I think if you put your guys on counterbattery, they should take 50% less time to fire. And then the computer's handling it. So I haven't moved this mortar, and I'm firing from a reinforcement road. So we'll see how that goes for me. And I'm trying to push, but it's just impossible, basically. So this guy's probably gonna die, maybe. Like I said, I'd prefer 4 Akatsias to 6 Gvozdi, because he's got 6 now. Like I said, that's the meta. And yeah, these, because infantry small arms just do nothing. This is basically, unstoppable unless you've got that hand flam patron there. So I should have had that hand flam patron there. And here we go. So now, now I can never get in here again. So that was a mistake. I should have attacked with like 20 guys at once, and then I would have had some time. But instead I've given my enemy time to reinforce, and now I just can't get in there. So don't think I can see that, because my recon's like here, so I need to move him up a little bit. These T-55s at close ranges are better than the Leopard ones. The Leopard 1 needs to trade it. So the 1A1 obviously isn't as good. The 1A5 at long ranges will win because of the higher accuracy and the higher pen, but at close ranges the T-55's armor will make it win, basically. So it's a pretty good tank now, actually, for the price. And here we go, so Seed's out, and it gets that Gepard there, and then 2 Eyehawks and a Fliegerfaust shoot at it, and then 3 Eyehawks shoot at that, 2 Eyehawks and a Tornado, I guess. This guy hadn't fired yet. So we get those planes. He was just going for the CV again, or at least, do you see what I mean? He's just bombing where he thinks the CV is. That's why I had to buy, I thought I had 3. Oh, this guy got rerouted. So here we go, we're going in, and we got the Gepard in there. Gepard will scare this thing away, probably won't kill it, unless he's not paying attention. And I overextended by attacking. I should have just sat there, so now he's killed my guys, and he's gonna extend back into me. But now he's overextending. He shouldn't be attacking. Nobody should be attacking. Attacking is how you lose. So Cluster now coming for that Leopard 2A3. He's lost visual on it, but he knows where it's going. Will he? Yeah, so now he's seen it again, so he's readjusting. And between the 3 Eyehawks, the Tornado, and the Fliegerfaust, we get him. But now the Tornado is going to fly over the enemy AA. And there's a MiG-29 there. MiG-29 is now flying over the Eyehawks. The 3 Eyehawks. This one's been loaded up, though. Flies over all the Fliegerfaust, so they don't even shoot. So this guy's actually going to get out, because these guys just didn't want to fire, I guess. What can you do? On this side, we got in here. I'm trying to path this guy into this thing, and it just started driving down the road. That was really annoying. Seed comes out for the Gepard, so I should have turned that off, really. That was a bit silly of me. And yeah, he's about to kill this CV, but I don't think he knows about it. Probably just assumes there's only 1 back there. I buy a HE bomber and it kills 1.5 men. 1.5 squads. And we finally get the CV in here, but this was way too slow. Now my guy's gonna get hit by artillery. Way too slow on that. Way too slow. This guy's kind of in a weird spot. But the thing, you'll see now how bad the autocannons are, because he's... Spoilers, he's going to run across this field and they won't be able to kill him. They won't even be able to stun him. It would just sort of walk across to spot this CV. But yeah, that's the game we play. This guy's back up to full HP now, he got healed up. And yeah, I basically just can't kill these Gvozdi, because as long as he moves them, I can't kill him. So now he's shooting that open field, and on this side he's shooting these guys. So there you go, see, you spotted it. I had 2 of these, but these killed one of them. And now I've had it, basically. Because now he sees me. You know what's going to happen next. So I buy a plane because that's my only hope. And I managed to buy Mars. Mars is going for the Gvozdikas, because I know he's trying to kill my CV, so we can't move him right now. But here comes the bomber, woo! And so yeah, we just couldn't kill these guys fast enough, and so we lose that CV there, and now I need to attack again or I'm going to lose. So Mars is actually alright at counterbattery because it fires over such a big area that when they try and move it, they might still get hit. But with those 12 missiles, we get none of them. Okay, never mind, we get 3 of them. I thought that happened later, actually. Anyway. And, yeah, so I lost the CV in there, so I need to buy another one, but I just don't have the points, really. Lots of other places to reinforce. So this was my chance to get back in the game, but it's gone now, because these attacks, they take so long, and they can be held off by just a couple guys, as you saw. And then that just gives the enemy more and more time to reinforce. You sort of saw the same on this side, like he was attacking me here and I was losing, and then just 20 guys showed up because it took so long for the attack to happen. So it does cut both ways, you know, we're both playing the same game. So I see this faggot here, and they're pretty scary against leopards. Because of the suppression, the high suppression. So yeah, 13 minutes left, and I'm still going to lose unless I do something. So I'm forced to attack. Yeah, I mean, these games take so long. And I see so many problems. People are like, Hippie, all you do is complain. Yeah, you're right. That was that 2,800 meter range, 60% accuracy, 18 pen ATGM I was telling you about. So this is the longest range ATGM in the game, and it's now got 60% accuracy. It's really fast. That's the problem I have with it. It's really fast. I don't know if you saw that. But I think 4th needs the help, to be honest. I think if 4th didn't have these, it would be a bit weak. It would be a bit terrible. So I think 4th needs the help. Although, to be honest, I'd probably made this more expensive. But then it just stops being a tank. And there you go. You just can't compete with this, right? There's just too many guys there. So I'm overextended. I'm attacking. Big mistake. Yeah, you can't do attacks like that anymore. You can't do small attacks. You'll just lose the game. So more Gvozdikas because he's got 3 cards of artillery. I guess because he's got 6 Gvozdikas. No, he's got 4 cards of artillery. 6 Gvozdikas because they're 3 per card. 2 of these because they're 2 per card, and a card of mortars. So 4 cards of artillery. Presumably 3 cards of supply. I see a lot of supply. So yeah, you see how effective like 2 guys in a building is. They just take so long to die, then. So this guy's got to get back now, or he's going to die. Oh, he's gone forwards. There you go. See, a faggot will 2-shot a Leopard 1. Not sure what was going on there. It looks like he was going for some sort of bombing run, and the fighter fired some guns. So decided to stop counter-batterying. I've not been using my howitzers effectively enough. You've not been seeing a lot of them, and that's not great. So I evac'd my fighter, and he didn't evac his bombers. So that was a bit of a mistake from me. And then I'm wasting this Mars volley on where I thought where his artillery was. Oh no, I got it actually. I did get it. There you go. See, because it comes up over here. So that was actually good. You see that these bombers double as fighters, which is why he's doing this. Because of the nose guns, I think. Well, he's struggling to get an angle on it, but if you get an angle on it, it'll kill that. Yeah, do you see? Do you see? That's just the nose guns. That's literally just the nose guns. He ran out of ammo though. And then both my fighters are now down for the count. This guy misses. These Eyehawks are switched off because that's a siege, right? So yeah, by attacking here, I basically spelled my doom because all he has to do is sit there, burn out the attack, and then counter-attack. That's what the meta is. I should learn to play it. But I do have like massive force superiority here, but if I attacked into this it would take too long and then reinforcements would come. At least that's my thought process. So here come the helicopters. These AT planes, not the best thing ever, but they're not expensive, like 125 points. These MiG-29s are really good for 195 points. They used to be like 215, but the price went down. I'm not really sure why, because they get these 60% accuracy missiles. They get 6 missiles, 20% ECM, decent speed, good agility and stuff. Like, they turn quite well. It's actually my favourite plane in the game, in terms of how it looks. I just think it looks really cool. And it's really OP, so that's also why it's my favourite. So there you go, yeah, I attacked, and that because I had to, and that's it now. So over here, you know, trying to counter battery, but you know, two volleys will not do that. You need the Mars or corrected shot, or 3 volleys, I guess. And then yeah, this guy, the helicopters are here. I wanted to get him in and then smoke, but the rocket stunned him, and then I couldn't smoke, so I got him in and then he died. And now my opponent's +4. So we bring up a Gepard for that. And we got the bombers out, because I didn't know how far up he'd brought up his AA. But there you go, 35% accuracy gets a hit, and then the Joker finishes it off. 45%, my bad. So yeah, I probably should have just played better there, I don't know. Bad player, I guess. But yeah, buying the bomber was a mistake. I should have got a couple Fliegerfaust and a Leopard 1. So, Gepard gets 1 helo, but the other one's still there. I think it's run out of rockets. The autocannons aren't great. He sent a recon round to here, so we'll be able to see all my reinforcements. And this won't actually be able to shoot it because of the hill, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, never mind. Oh, wait. Okay. And then he loses the Gvozdika here to the counter battery because, like I said, it takes 2 sets of volleys, and he just didn't heal it before he fired again, I guess, and he just got hit again. And yeah, this couldn't shoot that, so I was like, even though this can see this couldn't shoot that. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, that's the LOS there, that's the LOS here. I don't know. It's weird. So anyway, this 45% accuracy missile hits first shot again. 30% ECM. Joker this time doesn't finish it off. But yeah, this guy will be down until the end of the game. So he's basically gone now. Over here, because I've attacked, everybody's dead, and that allows him to drive this T-55 in here. And I should have left 1 AT infantry here because it's just him versus a bunch of Fliegerfausts. The Leopard 2, I accidentally sent it in the forest as opposed to down the road. And then this guy hit it twice, and now it's useless. That's kind of my fault. Well, kind of nothing. It is my fault. And then, so I shoot and miss with my 50% accuracy. He shoots and hits with his 55% accuracy. That 5% makes all the difference. Particularly when you're moving, so it's actually 45% accuracy. That makes it all the difference. But we do actually hit that one. Thing is, I think he's going to shoot first. Yep. And then this guy actually isn't in the minimum range, so he can still shoot. And then that stops that. Whereas if I'd kept this moving forwards, it'd be in the minimum range. But then this would have killed it. So whichever way. And so yeah, I think Second Pan's a really good division, but this is one of the weaknesses, is that you don't have those helicopters and those heliborne infantry to just, oh, he's overextended, and then you can punish that by flying some helicopters over and then flying a bomber. All I've got is these recon helis. We do get that T-55 eventually, but yeah, he's had time to reinforce. Flies this out and then flies it back in. Over here, have slowly managed to push him out. He's just not been paying a lot of attention, basically. This MiG-29 gets me. Cheaper plane, less ECM, less missiles. Beats the Tornado. Guess I'm a bad player. And then we use the Mars on this. He's actually just moved it out. I guess because he's waiting for the Mars volley to end. So I'm +1 with 5 minutes left. We lost visual on that. So we just evac it. Cub's dead though. Slowly pushing him out of here. Could have been a bit faster, a bit more energetic. More infantry, I guess. But you can't use the helicopters because they're Shoka. And then there were a bunch of tanks back here. I didn't realise I got so many of them, and this was the last one, and it's got no fuel. It's actually in a really good spot because it could shoot people coming down this road, so he picked a great spot to run out of fuel. This guy's out of ammo, and so this guy can get this. This SPW-70 is coming back in. And the Mars has already targeted there because I knew that he would do that. Because he wouldn't send it back in here, he would send it in here. So, somehow, with its no smoke, it manages... With its no fuel, it can still turn. So it manages to turn to unsmoke it, and then it's going to kill this. So I guess no fuel doesn't mean what it used to mean. And yeah, we're trying to push him out here because he's +2 now. And we got the howitzers and the Mars all shooting this. And then, yeah, so he's just walking towards me with infantry, and I just can't kill that infantry fast enough. With the tanks, I can't stun him. I mean, as you can see, like, one guy is usually enough. Like, 2 guys in an open field can pretty much sprint towards the tank right now, because how long all the infantry take to die. And then over here... So this guy, absolute hero of the East Germany, turns while out of fuel. He's just killing everybody, killing my reinforcements, killed that helicopter, killed that Lux. So this guy's in here now. We get the AT plane, but that dies as well. This guy's still here, but the Mars will probably finish him off now, from what I remember. Yeah, there you go. So I go down here, but this faggot's still here, and the autocannon won't do anything to that. So you gotta be careful. Yeah, or you're gonna die. We're trying to get in here now. Got this normal cohesion guy. This guy finally goes down. So trying to see the CV. I am +1, but there's only 2 minutes left. This guy finally beats that MiG. Oh well, he avenges his buddy, I guess. He's got 2 more CVs coming in. This guy with his high cohesion misses 2 shots, and then these guys get him. So we're now up to a +3. There's only 2 minutes left. This Cub's been really good this game as well. These anti-tank planes, usually you use them in pairs, because... like sometimes, I mean, they've only got 35% accuracy, but if you use them in pairs, that's 70%, right? So over here, trying to get this CV in, but this one faggot here is just killing everybody. So I got to take this convoluted route. And then that seed gets that Gepard, although it looks like he's out of helicopter, so I guess that doesn't really matter. This guy's still going strong. I thought I passed the Gina onto him, but I guess I didn't. And so now we're trying to get in here as well. It's sort of the same thing. It's just going to pile loads of infantry into there, play for time. So I'm up to +5 now. Yeah. There's only 1 minute left though. So all I've got left is these tanks. These guys don't really have AT, but this guy does. I'm trying to send these guys into here. Thing is, I was trying to find the CV because I thought it was a car CV, but it's not. It's actually an CV. So yeah, we're +5, but so there's only 35 seconds left. Get this guy in here, so we'll be a cheeky +7 or something. But But yeah, I should have smoked this guy off with my howitzers, but I was too late. So we're +7, but there's only 15 seconds left. And there's no way I'm going to kill this, because it's got an RPG and it's actually an infantry unit, and this is tank. So yeah, that's GG. I could have played a bit faster, I suppose. I could have played a different game, but I chose to play Warno, and that was where I went wrong, really. But no, in all honesty, as soon as I lost that guy in mid, that's when I lost the game, because I was forced to attack for the rest of the game. Attacking's difficult, and so you lose. So, yeah, I should have... Well, I'm not sure what I could have done there. I had 2 CVs in the zone at the start, but because he just sort of walked through all my infantry to spot for the bomber, and then the bomber suicided into the CV, and then I lost the game. It is what it is, really. There's lots of things I could have done better, but that's basically what the meta is now. Get a small point lead, sit on your ass, force your enemy to attack you for the rest of the game. This guy did alright. Could he use my howitzers a bit more effectively? Could have used my pioneer flam in the forest a bit more effectively. That was that guy that was stuck on that road, I think. I'm not entirely sure. The guy that could still turn his tank without any fuel. So yeah, hopefully patch comes out. This was that attack on the left side where I attacked with 1 unit, and then he had time to bring up reinforcements. And yeah, GG.